Hi everyone, Kevin here, and this is the third video on AS level physics, and I will be publishing the following videos once per day. Now, the goal here is to really get to the heart of the subject. As you all know, physics has a lot of rules and formulas which are roughly presented as things to be memorized. And so my goal is to work with you so that you may have the feeling that this rule, you are the one who invented them. And so for today, let's shift our attention to estimations of masses. Now, the first estimation that we'll be looking at the mass of an orange. Now, in physics, you will realize that the mass of an orange is often estimated to be approximately between 100 to 150 grams. Please note that that is not the correct SI unit, but this is an estimation in terms of grams. Now, what about the mass of an adult? The mass of adult is between 60 to 80 kilogram. This is the estimated. So which means that any student who is speaking 70 will be marked correct, but the estimation is supposed to be between 60 and 80. What about the height of a room? Because most of the time students are asked to estimate the height of a room. The height of a room is between 2 to 3 meters. So if you pick 2.5, you are within the required range. What about the diameter of a pencil? Because sometimes you can be asked to estimate the diameter of a pencil. Now, the diameter of a pencil is between 0.5 to 1 centimeters. Now, look, anybody picking any value between 0.5 to 1, that person is within the required range. Now, let's focus our attention onto the volume of a small beam. What is the volume of a small beam? The volume of a small beam is about 0.5 centimeters cubic. Please note that these are estimation. They are not the right, they're not the exact values, but they are closer to the exact value. As I've mentioned, we all need to understand the estimations of different quantities, like in that case. Now, the speed of a shift of a fit plane. What's the speed of a fit plane? The speed of a fit plane is about 220 meters per second. What about the temperature of human? The temperature of human is about 310 Kelvin. I hope you know when we talk about Kelvin, we also have degrees Celsius, but we're not talking about Kelvin because Kelvin is the required unit, is the recommended base unit that you're supposed to use. Now, the frequency of audible sound. The frequency of audible sound is between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So it's between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So anything like 30 hertz, 40 hertz, 100 hertz, 2,100, those are within the required frequency that is audible to human. Now, what about the wavelength of UV light or radiation? The wavelength of UV radiation is about 400 nanometer. I hope you all know what nanometer is. On our previous video, we talk about the prefixes that we use to accompany meters. Now, the mass of a plastic ruler. The mass of a plastic ruler is about 70 to 775 grams. Please note that if you pick anything within this range, you are still within the recommended value or the required value. Now, the density of air at atmospheric pressure. Recall that it is the density of air at atmospheric pressure. The density of air at atmospheric pressure is given as 1.2. Sometimes some people will allow 1.22 kilogram dot meters cubic. So, or somebody will just pick 1.2. This is also recommended. You can still use that, or you can use 1.22 kilogram dot meters cubic. Now, the thickness of a sheet of a paper. Now, the thickness of a sheet of a paper is given to be 0.1 millimeter. Most students, in most physics quantities, you have been given these values and you have been using it to calculate volume, to calculate various units. So that is the required and that is the recommended value. Now, the next is time per second to travel 100 meters in air. Now, time per second to travel 100 meters in air is always given as 0.3 seconds. It's always very fast, so that is the estimation. Now, the diameter of an atom. Uh, a number of you, all of you knows about atoms. So when you talk about the diameter of atom, we are talking about 3 times 10 power negative 10 meters. What about the diameter of nucleus? We can have the diameter of nucleus. We can have the diameter of a strand of air. Like in this case, I can talk about the diameter of a strand of air, which is about 3 times 10 power negative 4 meters. What about the volume of the human head? The volume of human head, the number of students I've always asked about this is about 1,260 centimeters cubic. Now, these are various estimation. There are a number of them, please. Make sure that if you're in AS level or A level, please make sure that uh, you know various estimations in physics. Now, thank you so much for watching. Keep on watching for the next video, which is about to come. Thank you.